You're attuned to The Leading Edge with Sent, the pulse of cricket podcast. I'm Sent. Every week we bring you the stories, insights, and moments that drive this beautiful game. So hit the subscribe button and let's get straight into it. Welcome to The Leading Edge with Sent. It's another week where we discuss cricket, and based on the t-shirt that I'm wearing, we'll be discussing women's cricket. Yep. So it's the India versus South Africa series, or South Africa versus India series. Yeah. So we'll take everything in between that and predictions for the World Cup, because there's no more series after this until they announce a squad. But before we get there, I just needed to say something. South Africans in the IPL, KG is one of the leading wicket takers, which is a good thing. Nandre Berger is okay. Lungi has been excellent, especially in the death overs. I hope that injury that he got, the concussion and stuff, he's fine and he gets back. You have Marco Jansen, who's struggling, but I'm not really worried about Marco. I think he will get his form back. And good luck to Maharaj, who was roped in by Mumbai Indians. And then I'm off. Oh, and Klaasen has found his form, which is a good thing. Not necessarily a good thing for South African cricket since, he's retired from playing for the Proteas, but good thing. He's one of those players, our marquee players, so you always want to see a South African actually perform, whether they're going to play for the Proteas or not. I recently went to a press conference, and this press conference was about the World Cup that will be in South Africa. And something good was actually being done. The Western Cape government was investing in the World Cup. They invested 15 million into the World Cup to make sure that stadiums are ready, not just Newlands, but also Poland. So each of the unions got 7.5 million each from the Western Cape government. So well done to Minister Mackenzie, not the national minister. I'm talking about the Western Cape minister. They both actually Mackenzie, funny enough. So now we move to something that I'm more interested in talking about. And that is the series between South Africa and India. South Africa won 4-1. Funny enough, that's how we lost in New Zealand, 4-1. Laura was a star yet again. Sune was also a star. I would give it to her. And then the rest of the batters, not really. No one really put up their hand. Dirksen put up her hand in the first match, but after that, not really. It was really about Sune and the captain, Laura. As for the bowlers did well. Tumi was good. Mlaba was good, especially in the last matches. Maharaj, him being part of that, him being part of the coaching staff in this series was actually quite good. So he was mainly there for Mlaba, to be honest. But obviously, Chloe, Tryon benefited. Kyla benefited. Who's the other spinner? We don't actually have another spinner from those three because Sune didn't really bowl that much, but she obviously as well would have benefited. And all four of them are actually finger spinners, that's what Maharaj is really good at. He's a finger spinner. He's a captain as well. So he gets into this with he thinks the game of cricket. If you know anything about Maharaj, he actually is a student of the game. He thinks, he's a strategist. He's a captain. So thank you, Maharaj. I do predict that he'll get into coaching. I think he's one of those players that one day will get into coaching and he'll be a good coach. You think a lot about the game. So maybe a future Proteas coach. We'll see. But as for the pace bowlers, Utumi, Ayabonga was excellent. Nadine was okay. Elise Marie Marks was actually good. She was good in the two matches that she played. We didn't see much of Kayla, and I have a prediction why. So we won the series 4-1. What does that say? Does that mean South Africa is now ready for the World Cup after the disaster tour? Yes, in New Zealand. Does that mean now we are contenders, that we beat one of the strongest team and the reigning ODI champions of the world, India? Do we have our combinations for the World Cup? So those are the things that we'll discuss. And the things that I probably did not necessarily. So there's actually one thing that I actually didn't like, and it was Utebuch. Tebogo Macheke, I think she should have actually gotten at least one match out of the five. It did not make any sense because Usna Lujafta she's really good behind the stumps. But her being sacrificed for one match so that Utebucho just gets a cap, it would have been really a nice moment for her. You know, chances are she might not even have batted. Uh, Usna Lujafta didn't bat much. I don't think in the T20 side she's in there for the batting. I think she's more in the team for batting in the ODI side, on the ODI side of things. But in the T20, she hardly gets to bat. But she did finish with the highest strike rate amongst all the players, Usinalo Jafta. But again, as I said, I would have liked for Tebogo Machega just to get one cap, especially since Karabo Meso was not there. Miss Meso. So now, how do we take this series? There's not much to take for it. You know that South Africa is strong. You know that South Africa is a strong side. I said it, the fact that we lost the series against New Zealand, I was like, there's not much to take, but you'll obviously be worried in the sense of, does the coaching staff have it right? Especially, we were in New Zealand, and conditions in New Zealand are much more closer than conditions in South Africa. Hence, again, I say there's not really much to take for the fact that South Africa is strong. India just did not. India looks like a team that's in transition. There were just certain things that were just not going right for them in this specific series. That's not to say that's going to happen at the World Cup. You know, you never know what's going to happen at the World Cup. But as for South Africa, what went right for them is that partnership at the top, Laura and Sune. It made sense. I guess it will make sense for the World Cup as well. Now, in New Zealand, Laura was batting at 3. Mandla Mashimbi experimented with Tasman Brits at opening with Sune, including Chloe Tryon. We did not see the experiment that Chloe Tryon. That means that place is literally solid, sign sealed. Did they do well? They get an A plus for their partnerships. It is what it is. At 3, Tasman Brits prediction: Tasman Brits is not going to the World Cup. Another prediction: Anika Bosch is not going to the World Cup. I'm saying that Tasman Brits, I do not think she's going to the World Cup. Who's going? Marizan Cup, obviously. And who else is going? I think Utane is going. Had Tasman Brits really did well in the series, I do believe that Utane might have not went to the World Cup. But because of how Tasman performed and because of how Dane has been around being a specific type, she's an aura, man. She has a specific aura. I don't think she gets into the playing 11. Come our first match at the World Cup, I think it's on the 23rd or 13th or something like that. Utane will play, might play, not will play, sorry for that, might play. But she's not guaranteed a spot in the playing 11. But I feel like after this series, she's kind of guaranteed a flight to England. And it's unfortunate that South Africa's leading batter domestically with T20, Faye, for the past 2 seasons. Actually, she's been doing it for like last 3-4 seasons, along with Tasman Press when she's available. But Ufe won't be making it to the World Cup. It's unfortunate. I do believe that Faye should have been part of this series, and her spot was taken by Tasman Brits. I'm not hating on Tasman Brits, but once I like mentioning this interview, but I had mentioned that maybe it is time to start doing the transition for Tasman Brits. And T20 cricket has not been one of her best um, formats. She hits the ball hard, but she struggles with the strike rate, unfortunately. And as for Anika Bosch, Anika Bosch is currently on form, but it's very hard sometimes to perform when you have to perform. Like she has that pressure. You have to perform right now. And she knows she's in the team only because Dane was injured. And she had chances. She had chances. So, unlike Utebuch, she at least had chances to perform. And I guess even if Utebuch did perform, she would not have actually went to the World Cup because that place is actually reserved for Rukarabo Meso. Should players have reserved spots in the national team? It's a hard one because for each and every coach will have their way and they will know what they want, including the selection team. They know what they want, and then sometimes they're not planning for today, they're planning for the next 5 or 10 years. And Ukarabo is one of those players who will be there for the next 5 to 10 years. Will Utebuchu be there in the next 5 to 10 years? I am not sure. She's one of the best wicket keepers in the country. She's one of the best batting wicket keepers in the countries. But is she in the top four? And within that top four, will she be there for the next 10 years or so? She's young, but will she actually be there, like knocking? Or are the younger players there knocking? And there's quite a few players that are young that are knocking. So maybe I can understand the fact that she didn't get a cap, but it would have been nice. I'm still saying it would have been nice for her to get at least one cap, especially against India. We've already beaten India. What else went right? We have a number. As I said, we have an opening pair. We don't have a three. I think our three is going to be Dane or is going to be Dirksen. I think Anari Dirksen could be the three, meaning she moves from 4 to 3, and then with Dane coming in at 4. Do we have a 5? We kind of have a 5, but we don't have a 5. What does that mean? Chloe can bat at 5. Nadine de Klerk can bat at 5. But 5 will probably go to Marizan Cup, you know? And then you have your 6, 7. 6, 7, Chloe. You have Chloe. You have Nadine. Then there's Kayla Reinecker. And I think the reason why she didn't actually play much in this series is actually to protect her, to not overexpose her, because she is our X factor at this coming World Cup. If you remember in the last World Cup, Nadine was our X factor, and I'm talking about the ODI World Cup. Nadine was our X factor, and she can still be that, including with Dirksen. Dirksen was that player that came out from a shell, at the last World Cup. I think she has the potential to be that player again. Hence, I think she bats in the top 4. She's no longer now a finisher. I would rather she bats at 3 than at 4. But if Dane is coming in at 3, I still don't have a problem with that. If Tasman Brits is coming in at 3, I'm going to be worried. I'm not going to lie. I am going to be worried. As I said, opening pair, sorted. 3, we're not sorted. 4, we probably sorted, be it Dirksen or Dane. So that means that Dirksen goes at 3. So I guess I would say sorted, but I'm saying not sorted based on this series specifically. And then you have your 5. I'm worried about Chloe in the sense of sometimes she performs and sometimes she just doesn't perform. And you can't drop Chloe. I feel like she's one of the best finishers in the game, one of the hardest hitting batters in the game as well. So she is that player. She is that damn good of a player. But you want her to come out and perform and be one of those standout players. And I guess now she's going to be a finisher, in the sense of she was experimented with as an opener. I don't see her at 4. I don't see her at 5. I think 6, 7 will be her spot, regardless of what happens. 6 or 7, she'll be batting in that time. In that, then obviously I spoke about Kayla, and then when it comes to her bowlers, Ayabonga is in there. She's guaranteed a place. She has been fantastic in this. Actually, she's been fantastic this whole year. With that series against Pakistan, she was fantastic. In the series against New Zealand, she was fantastic. And in the series against India, she was literally fantastic. Ayabonga Khaka she's going through a really good purple patch right now. And then you have Masabata Class, who didn't have a good series as in New Zealand. She might make the team, I think. Then there's Utumi Sekukune. She's getting the wickets. She's doing the job. But it's going to be between her and Masabata Class, I think. I'm not sure if Utumi does play in the playing 11 if Marizan is available. But she's done well. And she's a damn good fielder. Then there's Ayanda Hlubi. Now, Ayanda Hlubi is the same situation as Umeso and Ukela, in the sense of she is one for the future. But including Utumi is one of the future. She's barely 25. She's the same age, around about the same age as Mlaba. Mlaba makes the team. She's our premium bowler, a premium spinner. So, yeah. And she has done well in this series with India. So, including in New Zealand, it was just that she was unfortunate that she wasn't getting the wickets. And said in the last segment, in the sense of Amelia Kerr is currently the best batter in the world. And Mlaba, unfortunately, faced Amelia Kerr at her really, 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 really good form. So that is what it is, But I feel that's the team, basically. The only person, Elise Murray Marks won't make the team, not because she's not good enough. It's just that the team is stacked. It's not because she's not good enough. It's just that the team is stacked. Also remember that Dirksen is currently being used as a bowler as well. And it seems like she doesn't know. It's either it's her that doesn't know or the bowling coaching staff within the bowling segment don't know how to use her because they see her as an enforcer. And I get why. She can bowl bouncers, but it has not been working. It hasn't worked even in South Africa. Maybe it doesn't work in South Africa in these past 2 series, maybe because the pitches were not that great. It's the end. I don't know. Maybe it will work in England because it will literally be in the middle of their summer season. So she may get those bounces. But I would more invest on Dirksen as a bowler and invest more on Nadine as a bowler. I mean, Dirksen as a batter. And then Nadine more of a bowler. I think Nadine is a bowling all-rounder. Dirksen is a batting all-rounder. We have enough bowlers in the side. If the captain needs like 1 over or 2 overs, then you can bring in Dirksen. But again, what is Dirksen's role as a bowler? Because she's been opening the bowling as well and it hasn't worked. So what is her role in the side? That's the only thing that makes me worry when it comes to Dirksen. Hoping that when 18 finds a form, she knows English conditions. She's played there. And another reason why I just needed to get back on this, why do I think Darnay probably has a better chance of going to the World Cup over Tasman, even though Darnay has been injured and Tasman has not been on form, obviously, but Darnay also has played extensively in England. She knows the conditions. She's played. I understand she hasn't been playing much in England in the last few years, but she's played in England, so she understands the conditions. And if the coaching staff does use her, I think her mind will work perfectly for Laura as well, and she holds high standards. I think Laura is a bit shy of a captain. She shows authority when she's literally actually batting. She shows authority when she's batting, but in the field, she doesn't show her authority, but she knows how to marshal her troops, but she doesn't, you know. But Utane has that. And I think she can give some of that confidence to Laura. Obviously Marizan being there as well. So I'm happy how the South African team looks, especially after the disaster series. I understand why Kayla did not play much. I hope the coaching staff has sorts their top five. Mainly, I'm talking about the middle order, so that we can actually have that confidence in that team. We sorted in the opening. We have the bowlers. We don't have the wrist spinner. India didn't have a wrist spinner, so we're not really tested there. That's my only worry. But Sune doesn't struggle with spin. Laura seems not to struggle with spin anymore. Marizan is good with spin. Dane is good with spin. Dirksen seems to be okay with spin. Good finisher. So the team looks good. The team looks good. We got players that know how to hit sixes. Scenario Jafta can hit a six. We saw Mlaba hit a six as well in the other match. So in a situation where all the batters are out, like our main batters are out, and maybe Mlaba is there, and we need 10 runs from 6 balls, I guess South Africans will have faith that we can win the match, even if Mlaba is there. Tumi is not that bad with the bat, but she's not your big hitter. She's more of your pocket hitter. So maybe she will get those fours. Maybe she works on that. Yeah, I'm happy with direction of the squad, and hopefully we will go over this team again once the selection is made, and then we'll do an in-depth analysis of the team and look at the possible combinations and what the coach will do later on. So that is the episode for this week. Thank you very much again for watching, especially those interviews, Coach Vuyani and Coach Jamal Adams. So thank you for watching those interviews. We'll do more of those. I actually like them. I think they're quite informative. And obviously we'll do these one-on-ones and get another guest just to talk topics like when the South African team is actually there. Like we talk about these series, we talk about the World Cups as well. So those are things that we actually want to do here, at Leading Edge with Scent. So yeah, keep subscribing. Let's grow this channel. Let's grow this movement. Let's talk more cricket. Let's push South African cricket. Only us as South Africans can actually grow South African cricket to where it needs to be. Oh, and the Beyers Swanepoel saga. I really wanted to talk about that, but talk about it some other time. At a time when everything is like literally simmed really down. Because my take, I don't think Beyers was wrong. That's my take. I don't think he was wrong. I don't think he kind of owed South African cricket that much of a loyalty. Respect, yes, but loyalty not so much. In the sense of, why has Beyers not been in the SA emerging side? Why has Beyers not been in the SA side? Beyers has been one of the best bowlers in South African cricket, especially in first-class cricket, be it the Warriors or at the Lions. He has been really consistent, but no rewards. Anyways, I'm out. Percent. Thank you again for watching. Thanks for tuning in to the Leading Edge with Scent, the Pulse of Cricket podcast, proudly produced by Roundly Podcast Studio in partnership to bring you the stories and the voices of cricket. Until next time, stay on the leading edge of the game.